altogether is the consciousness's work, because we are afraid for the confrontation, which is something that you have to find the power to confront what is unjust. But that ego has that inbuilt resistance. It's the side of our nature from the wrong side. And it just is lazy, it doesn't want to grow, it doesn't want to move, it fights against freedom. It's it's the side of ourself that is dark. And that's what you have to give up. It's no use you study all the books in the world if you don't give that up. If that part is not, exorcised out. And this is why if you people spend their whole life in excusing this, finding ways to excuse, and in a sense it's not they're not speaking from their light. It's like they're speaking from their darkness. And it can feel like, but it's so hard to do this, it's so hard to do it. And it's only intense experiences that help us to get out of it, because by your own free will you can't do it. It's almost like this is where the outside help has to seem to come from, is that somebody hits you or throw you out and you find that you're losing something more valuable than staying in your little seemingly comfortable laziness. So this is why I say the intolerance is like, because we are too good at manipulating and playing sick and poor me and this, and that is not good. That is defending our demon. So we must not feel too much compassion for people who are going, but I grew up like this and it was very difficult for me when I was a child. Don't kill them. You got to get out of here. We don't want you here. That's not you. And have no compassion for that. Because the rest of us is thinking, I understand because it happens to me as well. And almost defending this thing, which is suffocating your spontaneity, suffocating your real life, and something out of ignorance or whatever it is, confusion, is protecting it. And so there's one side is the person who is the perpetrator of that, which is working with their dark side. It's like the consciousness that can go to the left or the right. It goes with that right side, and it's very, very I making excuses, and other people did it as well, and I'm not the only one who did it, and I was very sick that day and I couldn't, and none of those excuses are genuine. It's just what you do when you get caught. You never own up, and there's some people who are good at exposing that, because something inside just feels, no, I don't want to justify this. But very often the ones who are saying, I can't do it, and I got my hand hurts, and I got asthma and all, that plays into their so-called disabilities and so on. They just perpetuate this dark side in them. And then the ones who have to confront that, we feel like, we're going to be picked on and people are not going to like us. So it's the same thing in us also, but working from a different place. One is the victim, one is the oppressor, Oh yeah, I don't like authority. I don't want people to tell me what to do. I say, this is your demon speaking. It's your demon speaking. Like, you're making out something which is a justice, a fairness to everyone, because everybody has to do this. So why should we make an exception for you? Should we make an exception for you? But you use these things like, I don't like authority figures. And these are just the kind of ploy. These are the manipulative, sort of like functioning of that ego to throw things back on you. See, it's you. It's not me, man. It's you. It's people like you who want to tell people what they should do. And you have to be ruthless, and we have to shoot it. We have to cut it out. You just have to cut it out, and we have to be really firm and clear about that we have a no tolerance for that, because you identify what that is.
What does it mean, no tolerance?
No tolerance means don't keep making excuses for them. Don't buy people's excuses. Don't fall for that, because these people have been using that maybe all their life. From their children sometimes, we learn to manipulate to get your way. But that is not in service to the greater truth. It's not. And when that is driven out of you, you always feel you've been delivered. You always feel free. Because it's like a possession. You really believe in it while it's there, that you know you're defending yourself. But when it's out, you realize, my God, that thing was suffocating my life. And it has many different facets, many different ways of functioning. And this is what I said, in India they call it like vasanas, like deep-rooted tendencies. Why should it be flushed out? Sometimes people say, but it's not real, it's not. But it's real in their life, in their dynamic life. It plays a function, and it completely, I say, it holds the beingness hostage, meaning that when the beingness is locked into that state of hypnosis, you can't fly. You're not, it's like you're in the grip of that tendency. So when you meet people who don't tolerate it, you feel afraid of them. But it's not you. That's why I say you have to know the difference between you and your mind. You and your bad nature, you know. And we defend that because we identify with it, and it makes you feel vulnerable and insecure. And then you find ways of protecting that insecurity by saying other people are making your life difficult. In fact, they're saving you. When I gave this story that, you know, you see a little snake, you know, going across the road, and you see a juggernaut coming down the road, and you pick the snake up to take him across to a safe place, and he bites you. Because he has not yet got the foresight to see, well, man, thank you for helping me. You see. And I was just watching on YouTube on some very, very cold place. A dog was floating on a piece of ice. It was just in this river of just ice, and it's just shaking like this on this piece of ice. A little piece of ice is getting smaller and smaller. And you see the trawlers, all the boats are completely covered in ice, and people are scraping off. And one guy puts on this suit and goes swimming for the dog. And he got the thing, and he pulls the iceberg into the boat, towards the boat, and then he comes to the dog and tells, you know, it's shivering. And he still has to get the dog, because even there's, you know, only when, I know, maybe when the dog is in the water dying, then perhaps he will surrender and be taken. There's still some mistrust is there, even then. Then the guy picks him up, puts him on the boat. When he put him on the boat, then something is released. Because you see, even I saw it with lions. One lion was, you know, he was trapped, and some people saved him from the lion. And then 1 year later, the guys came back, and the lion from the wild sees the guys and came up and just started to hug the guys, big lion, and licking the face and like, thank you for this. So something in us resists salvation, you know, initially, and you have to strike him, you know, don't take him, because he's the one who is poisoning you. Yeah. Afterwards, don't be always, you know, be ready for the initial thank yous, because the great actions don't get thank yous immediately. In hindsight, they give thank you. They say, oh, thank you, after they realize what has happened to you, that you've been saved from something. So this is what I mean when I say, you know, more toward no tolerance. Because sometimes, you see, we're thinking that we're being very compassionate, we're taking care, and just protecting the person's darkness. Many people, many families also, they spoil their children, they completely spoil them, because they think they're doing what's good for them, and they're destroying the kids' lives. Mm-hmm. They give them too much, they're too this, they allow them too much freedom, so then the children, something inside them, begin to attack the parents. They speak to the parents like they are nothing. They call them nothing, and the parents don't have any power. They take their power. It's all gone. So you need some discipline, you know, to drive out. When you hear the expression, to have the shit kicked out of you, it literally means sometimes you get beaten up and the shit gets kicked out of you, and you come to a clearer space, a more sane space inside yourself. And I just feel like we need to really be clear about these things. We who are more in a position of leadership and responsibility, to work with people in this way, to work together, to have a collective consciousness about these things, and to understand the kind of spiritual mechanisms that functioning with people.
And also in us, because like sometimes I feel when these conversations are happening, then some energy starts to go out towards each other, and when I hear you now, like I'm thinking of like no tolerance, because I know sometimes it's arising in me. Sometimes I'm not tidy enough, or like also sometimes in my close relationships, and it's scraping the bottom of the pot, and it's just this ugly stuff. But I'm defending this stuff till the death, you know. And I know if you saw me in this moment, you'd kick me out of Sahaja, you know. So now when you're talking to me now, I see like like I shouldn't be tolerating this one. And even it's like this, I should somehow be finding the energy to drop it.
Yeah. I would say that this is what I would expect in the life that comes from an ashram. Because an ashram is not like a hotel, it's not like a boarding school, it's not like that. It's like the highest institution of human living. So you have to have beings who are willing to tackle themselves. Because only there you're going to have the compliance, and even there will be resistance. But then people have come and says, you know, don't be tolerant with my bullshit. You know, and so something is going to fight. Initially, it's going to fight, and you whack, 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 and you know you're kicking that demon out. And then afterwards, you realize that person then is converted in themselves back to their true nature, and they become really someone who have an understanding and insight into how those mechanisms work, and they can work with people in a good way. You know, it's not to be military for military's sake, but sometimes you see that why is it that after all this spirituality and so much interest in spirituality, so few people seem to be waking up? Because of this. Because in the bottom line, you're still defending your person. We still at some level you think, but I don't like when you talk to me like that. So you who? And don't come and talk to me about that. You know, you're not Mooji, you can't talk to me like that. We have all these things going on. And then the person being spoken to like that, they shy away. They think, okay, I don't have the strength to fight that one. But it's your fight. It's your fight, And you just have to stand up. And if you don't back down, they won't stand up to you like that again. But if you back down, you know that you lost that round. The second round is going to be more difficult for you to fight.
You mean when you're fighting, like, inside?
Both when you're fighting inside, if you give in to that, or when you have to fight with someone who is defending something that is not true, that you should not give up. Because at some point, they beat you because they find a way. It's like it finds a way to go, I saw you yesterday, though, you did it yesterday, and shift the blame, shift the attention. Or, who do you think you are, and it hits your insecurities.
But can I say, when we see someone's doing something wrong, we should try and just not come with an energy that is you're doing this, just point it out and just leave it. But the person that's being told that they've done the wrong should be a bit humble and not try and defend it. Just accept you have done something wrong. It's not right, and just leave it at that. So then then the energy is just
that is the ideal.
Yeah.
That you point something out, they're gracious enough to accept it. But very often, the first thing comes up is who are you to tell me, that I'm doing something wrong? Nobody's above anybody here. I see it in many circles. Even in Advaita, these so-called, sort of commentators or teachers and so on, they have the same thing. It's we don't believe in people putting themselves on pedestal, we're all the same, because they have a lot of insecurity. When you find the power in yourself, you don't speak like that. You can say, at the human level, at the body level, we are the same. But in terms of your inner evolution, your maturity, you can't compare, actually. It's arrogant to compare with someone who actually is really gone beyond their ego. Because we are the same. You're not the same. You see, but these are things that people find a lot of argument to argue. They are the one who has gone beyond the ego is not telling you that you're not the same. They tell you we are the same. But the ones who have not gone beyond are the ones who say, yes, we are the same. Because they are really afraid to feel like if somebody might be higher than me. But that's an arrogance, because some people are higher than you in their evolution internally. But you pick on this, I don't believe anybody putting themselves on a pedestal. And when you go into and look at it, it's not that people putting themselves on a pedestal necessarily. It's just that you are so afraid that someone might know something you don't know, or whatever. So there's a lot of this kind of thing that is really, I would say, very, if you don't beat it there, you're going to have a lot more work later. It's like children. If you let them be spoiled from the beginning, it's very difficult to change them later. It's possible, more difficult. And I want to sort of root things out from here. We're still in the beginning. The major waves of people, waves are not
You just
coming
want
here
to
yet.
set the tone from the beginning.
I want to have
so
real soldiers here. Soldiers of the heart who have an understanding. Not hard, because Leah's right. I don't want people go around, hey, you, pick that up. We're not police. But have the courage to say, you will please remove your things. I loved in India, I remember at Papaji's, one guy there, Saravanan, an Indian guy, who I met in Tiru first, in Tiruvannamalai, and he came back to be with Papaji. And one time, one guy, Western guy, was smoking a cigarette just outside Papaji's place, and he finished the cigarette and flicked it in a corner outside now. And this guy just walked over and says, please pick it up. I says, what? Your cigarette, please pick it up. This is the master's place. Please pick it up. No, you pick it up. I didn't put it there. You pick it up, please, sir. Pick it up, like this. And he would give him the guy, you talk to me like this. Pick it up. I've got nothing else to say. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up, And it was like, in the end, the guy got up and sneering. I like that stubbornness and that insistence, Like, I'm not coming to talk to you as your friend nor your enemy, but you've done something wrong. Please take it up, And he just stayed with it. And the guy said, who do you think you are? You're not working here, Please pick it up. Your cigarette is for out. Smoke out. Go out. Don't, okay, yeah, all right, and run away. So I like that. When she was there, she was a real little battle axe. But she was someone that you just don't argue with her. She was taking care of the cushions inside the ashram and things like that. And after satsang, every cushion back in the corner. That's it. I'm not your friend. Come on. I don't have time. I need to go to lunch now. Like this. And I love that. I love people who are not afraid to be disliked by other people because they have their nonsense. I don't need to be liked by you. Who the hell are you? So, she was a bit strong. She's much softer now. But sometimes you need people like this who will challenge something that they feel is not true, and don't let up. Don't let you get on top of them. So.
I mean, I feel like there are certain characters that have been here that have this kind of attitude. Sometimes
not everybody can be like that.
No.
Not everybody, and not everyone needs to be like that.
No.
But there can be an awareness in people that even if you feel you're not strong enough, you can call someone to just say that I saw this and I'm sorry, I can't do it, but this is happening, and and they watch and learn.
But I don't think they had this energy like you're saying of this other lady, but they had if they said something to you, they're saying it with love, and they think, and I don't think they were scared to say it to someone. If they saw someone, because a lot of times, remember I came to you about that lady that was new here, and she was sitting on the table. I had her feet on the table as well, and like I said to you, I didn't know how to approach it. So sometimes you should just approach it because you'll feel better because you've got it off your chest. And
yeah, it's a tricky one,
yeah.
and I think that there's a lot of energy around this, of really addressing something, maybe not confronting it, but addressing something. And give the person a chance to see that that's not acceptable. Doesn't have to be.
It's like in every group, it's like there is something is needed like this. If there is,
Every group, yeah.
Someone has to take this role because it's like a balance.
And nature
balance.
provides them
It's
also.
like harmonious then.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like
Nature provides
If
it
this
also.
word is not taken, it's
Mhm.
quickly a mess and something is missing.
Yeah,
Until someone, okay, I take it.
yeah,
mhm.
yeah. Nature creates these mixes. You know, you cannot insist that everybody is like that, because they cannot be like that.
Nor
But
would you
everyone
want
can be
anyone
aware
to be like that.
and cooperate.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, Mooji, I always think a little bit like if we all policed ourselves, because I just get, because sometimes I see there's certain people that like to be the policeman, and that's always just a little bit of a thing that I feel that sometimes can get out of balance. That if we all really took what you're saying and just policed ourselves, then maybe we wouldn't have to do this so much.
But life doesn't work like that, Tony. It's good if you try, but it's good that other people police you too, because that's the bit you don't like.
I don't like it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
true,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a life. This is a life
Because
also.
you know, then you really see where your demon is still alive. You're not strong enough to police yourself for a while. Life has to do it. It has more power also, because it exposes where we are hiding.
It's like what I said to you the other day, like rather than everyone saying, oh, please pick up your cups, or not even please pick up your cups, but pick up your cups, we shouldn't have to say it, because we're not all like, we're not children, we're adults, and we should know how we should not behave, but like what needs to be done, and that's the end of story. That's the way it is.
It would be good if somebody, you know, for instance, you could hear that somebody called and, you know, just call the police or someone. I'm just having a story arising inside my heart. Somebody calling the police and say that, you know, they caught like a burglar or a criminal and so on. They want the police to come. And when they come there, they see that somebody's been uncuffed, like to some railings, and find out that it's the person who handcuffed himself, basically. You just say, you know, I just feel like I can't trust myself, you know. So I just felt I just need to uncuff myself, really, basically. And I'm turning myself in. Can you imagine? Like, I just don't feel like, I feel like something in here is behaving, is not really responsible, it's unpredictable. I feel like I'm about to do something very bad. So I'm just ending myself in now before I do anything. Can you imagine someone like this? I locked him up. I locked him up, man.
Him being me.
Yeah. And then you call a hero. Yeah. Save yourself from yourself.
Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram.